Hello, everyone. I am ZHAO Chuang. Let's draw the back of Zuul. Zuul had a very complex back structure. There were many large and small armor plates intricately grown on its back. These armor plates seemed messy, but if you look closely, you will find they actually followed a certain rule. When dealing with such a complex picture, we should consider the entire large outline of the back. We will draw a top view and roughly determine the shape of the whole body of Zuul. Looking down from above, you will see that this animal is shaped like a pear. We can first use dotted lines to determine the shape, because there were many sharp spikes around its body. If using solid lines, they will put influence when we draw these spikes. Then, we should summarize the arrangement pattern of the spikes, such as from front to back, how many rows are there vertically, and how many columns are there horizontally. Now, let's draw the back of Zuul. First, we set 2 points on the paper representing the body length of Zuul. Then, we draw the center line with a dotted line in the middle. Now, we draw the contour line of the body of Zuul. The front shoulder part is narrower, the rear pelvic region is very broad, and the thinner part here is its tail. Then, draw a part of the neck forward, followed by its head. We only draw a rough outline for the head, a relatively flat mouth, a bulge in front of the eyes, and a horn behind the eyes. Then, we use dotted lines to divide its neck into 2 sections, with many bumps on each section. Now, we segment its body, roughly dividing it into 7 sections. Then, we see the bony spikes around the body. There were 7 spikes on the outermost sides of its body. We also draw the spikes on the other side. Now, we also show the spikes on the tail. We can see about 4 pairs of spikes on the tail. Then, in the middle of the back, we draw a couple of bony plates along both sides of the spine. There should be 7 rows, and there can be some changes. For example, by the 6th row, this part has 2 plates. It is not entirely symmetrical. When drawing these bony plates, we assume the sun is shining from the upper left, and then we only need to draw a capital C-shaped shadow, like this on the lower right. Then, draw the plates on the outside of the back. Then, we draw thin lines in this empty position, so that there will be a 3-dimensional effect. Now, let's show the bony plates on the neck. When viewed from the above, 4 plates are visible. Next, we draw another row of spikes under the spikes on the sides of the body. The lower spikes were interlaced with the upper ones, so we can see that the upper and lower spikes were arranged staggered. Use thin lines to draw the roots of the spikes. Then, in the gaps between each spike, we use solid lines to draw the contour line of the body. We also draw the base of the spikes on the tail. There is some texture at the root of the spikes. Let's slightly show it. Fill in the gaps inside with shadings. There were 2 rows of spikes on the sides of the body so that the upper spikes would cast some shadows below. We use shading to create a sense of layer and volume. For these bony plates on the back, as the sun is shining from the upper left, we draw shadows on their lower part. The row of spikes on the bottom also has shades. Then, we draw thicker dots on this side of the plates along the bottom of the picture. Drawing a row like this can show the 3-dimensionality of this dinosaur, and also show that there are actually many raised scales in the blank area. We also use such dots to embellish other empty spaces. Its body surface comprises many large scales, but we can draw only a few. Then, we use dotted lines to draw a vertical line in the middle of each row of plates, indicating that there are folds where it often moves. Because the pelvis is an integrated bone, drawing folds here is unnecessary. Lastly, we add some texture to the head. In this way, we've finished drawing the back of Zuul.